Hi guys, today we are bringing you one of our most often asked questions, which is, how do you host people in your home for lunch or dinner or a feast? For anyone who knows us personally, you will know that we absolutely love to host people in our home over an abundance of food. Food is life for the Fuller family. Whether it's an intimate dinner party with our close friends or a huge gathering with family at Christmas or Easter or other celebrations around the year. Whether it's just casual and people just pop over, or if it's an elaborate and decadent and all out over the top event. We love to host people in our home over food. We love hospitality. So often we get asked, how do you do this? Help me, I've got a whole heap of friends coming, or I'm doing my family Christmas this year. What do I do? How do I cook for this many people? So I'm here to answer all your questions and to give you all my little tips and tricks that I use to make it so much easier for me. My biggest piece of advice is be prepared, be organized. The more organized you are in advance, the easier it's going to be for you on the day. The less stress you're going to feel, the less overwhelmed. And when I say organized, I mean start weeks ahead. If this is planned for an event later in the month, as soon as you know the date and time and everything that's going on, you can start getting organized. You can start writing a menu plan. You can start listing every ingredient you're going to need to be able to buy so that when you go to cook on the day, you don't forget anything like that. I'm talking being organized right down to having the servingware prepared and ready to go, having the cutlery and the crockery. Know what your theme's going to be for the table. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could just be a simple color theme. Black or white, neutrals. If it's Christmas, add some decorations. If it's Easter, add some little Easter decorations. Whatever the theme is, the most simplest things can be absolutely free. Often I send Gav and the kids out in the morning to go and find me some, foliage and some flora and some beautiful nature that we can just put on the middle of the table.
Children, how you going? Found any?
It doesn't have to be complicated, but you can make it look absolutely amazing.
You're so high.
So getting closer to your event, it's all about time management. Now here is my number one thing, okay? Don't cook everything on the day. I never cook every little thing on the day. The more you can do in advance, the day before or the day before that, the easier it's going to be on you. Obviously, you can't cook fresh things. You can't, you don't want to do your salads or your vegetables or anything like that a few days ahead. But things like sauces, dressings, desserts. Okay, I'm not a baker. Everyone knows I'm not a baker. So I love to do desserts that are so easy for me to just make the day before, to do them ahead so that when it's time for dessert on the day of the event, whether it's a lunch or a dinner, all I have to do usually is just get it out of the fridge and serve it beautifully. So anything that can be done ahead, do it the day before or the day before that, and you will save yourself a lot of stress. On the day of the event, on the morning if it's a lunch, or the afternoon if it's a dinner, you can start prepping things and getting things ready. You don't want to be cutting up all the vegetables when your guests arrive. You don't want to be, putting everything together that you could have done earlier in the day. So the more you can do ahead, the easier it's going to be for you when your guests do arrive. When it comes to meats, a slow cooker is your best friend. Okay, we're a family of 7, okay? So slow cooker's my best friend on every day of the week, just for regular family dinner. But when you're hosting large groups of people, all you have to do is put that beautiful leg of lamb in the slow cooker and it will cook itself and you can't go wrong. Ask Gavin, okay? He has been learning recently how easy a slow cooker is, and everyone who knows us knows that Gavin is challenged in the culinary area, and if Gavin can do it, then anyone can do it.
See you in 6 hours, lamb shanks. Oh yeah.
So invest in a slow cooker, and if you have space in your home, invest in 2 slow cookers if you really want. They will make life so much easier for you. And it makes the meat absolutely succulent. It is wonderful. You could also invest in a spit, a barbecue, anything like that that will help you out with your meats and your proteins. Apart from meats, carbs are very filling and go a long way. If you want to serve huge bowls of pasta and, add some salads and sides along with that, they fill people up and they are delicious. And there's so many different variations of beautiful pastas that you can do. Take it to the next level and make your own pasta. Get people involved in the process. We do pastas all the time. Pizza is another fabulous one. Kids love it. We do pizzas once a week. The kids love to get involved. It's really hands-on. Yes, your kitchen's going to get messy, but people are going to have fun. Lots of fun. And it's filling, and it's so much more tasty when you cook it yourself. Another thing I love to do before my guests arrive is to have everything organized as to what I'm going to serve it in, where I'm going to serve the food. Is it going to be on the middle of the table for everyone to serve themselves? Is it going to be set up elsewhere in the kitchen or in the dining room as a buffet? What I actually do to make sure I have everything allocated is I set it out where it's going to go, and I even do this seriously, I put a little note on every dish to say, this is what's going in here, this is what's going in here. And so it takes the stress out of it for me, because I know I have enough platters for each dish and I know where it's going to sit and everything's going to be displayed beautifully. One of our favorite things to do is to always have a grazing platter ready upon arrival for your guests, and drinks. Now, Gavin usually is our drinks waiter, but you can also have a big tub set up for everyone to be able to serve themselves drinks, because you don't want to be hosting in the kitchen and doing everything yourself and trying to make sure everyone's drink is filled up the whole time. But upon arrival, give your guests a drink, let them know there's some, little nibbles to have before you begin the main meal, and everyone will feel relaxed and welcomed and comfortable straight away. Now, this might sound ridiculous, but have a run sheet with everything listed on it that you need to do. Whether it's a big event with lots of people that you're hosting and you need to take care of so many different things, you don't want to forget anything. Or if it's an intimate dinner party and you have lots of little elements to each dish and you have lots of courses that you're preparing, have a run sheet with everything listed in order that it needs to happen. Another thing to make it a lot easier for you as the host is to ask people for help. People love to contribute. Tell people what to bring. Some Christmases and Easters, I've actually said to family, this is what I'm cooking, this is my menu, here's what I would like you to bring, and I even give them the Pinterest links to the recipes so that they can do exactly that. And then all the food goes together, everything balances out. It's not potluck, it's according to your menu, and people love feeling part of it, and often people love to help. They really want to contribute. By getting them to help out with sides or salads or things like that makes it so much easier for you. And if you're having an intimate dinner party with friends, ask them to bring a particular bottle of wine. Tell them, maybe what's on the menu and say, could you bring a white for this? Or could you bring a Shiraz for this? Could you bring a dessert wine? Could you bring cocktails to start with? Make it specific, make it according to your menu so that everything matches and balances really well. Now, this may seem silly, but you will be surprised how caught out you get. Make sure you have fridge space, okay? Especially when you're preparing the day before. I just made 20 desserts the other day, and I had to make sure beforehand that there was enough room in my fridge, and then my poor kids came along and opened the fridge and saw all these little desserts and had to not touch them for the whole entire 24 hours. But you want to make sure that your food is going to remain fresh. If people are bringing things like a dessert or something that needs to be refrigerated, make sure there's ample space in the fridge for everything to go. Now, I think I've said this is the most important thing about 3 times already, but this is the most important thing that you need to remember when you are hosting and cooking and having people in your home. It's not about the food. Yes, it's obviously about the food, okay? The food is amazing and it's wonderful, but the food, and you've heard Gavin and I say this before, and you will hear us say it 1,000 times again. Food is about people, okay? You don't want to be a slave in the kitchen. Your guests want to see you. They want you to sit down at the table and spend time with them. The food is the thing that brings us together. And yes, we want it to be absolutely delicious because we just love food. But we have to be with our guests. We have to be at the table. We have to be sitting in fellowship and just communing with one another. That's what it's all about, and that's what people come to your home for. And the more you can learn to leave the kitchen behind and sit and be with your guests, the more hospitable your home is going to be, and people will feel it, and people will want to come back time and time again, because it is the people and it is the affection and it is the love that fills the atmosphere, and the food is just the icing on the cake. I wasn't going to say that because it's kind of like a pun, but well, I hope I've answered a lot of your questions. No doubt we will do more of these videos in the future, but for now, I want you to open your home up, have people over, be relaxed, not stressed, not overwhelmed, and enjoy the company of your guests, and let them enjoy you too. See you next time.